Hey everyone, it's Kimmy. I am Mama on a Mission. I am a 14-year online reseller who currently sells on eBay, Poshmark, Depop, and I'm a Whatnot Live seller for about 3 months now. And today I have a Goodwill outlet bins haul for you. This is where I literally dig through giant bins of clothes, shoes, whatever they have for that day, and I pay by the pound. My outlet is $1.59 per pound as long as you hit 50 pounds. And most of the time I hit that. I mean, pretty much always 50 pounds in your cart of those items. So anything you see here will be by the pound, which if you think about it, you know, some of these items are probably a half pound. And so that would make them, what, about 75 cents. If you get something super light, you're talking about 50 cents. So let's see what I found, and we'll kind of go through. I looked at the tops of these, as always. You guys know, once I get to the bottom, sometimes I'm even surprised because I go through a lot of inventory. In fact, I just did a video where I talked about how many items I moved last month, and it was almost 600 items that I sold. That's not even like what I listed. I sold 600 items quantity. And that included Whatnot. So obviously I move a lot more quantity with Whatnot, but just to put it into perspective. So yes, this is 2 giant bags full, but it's probably only like 50 items, and that's not going to get me very far. So let's go through what I have here. Check in, let me know how you're doing. You guys know I do a mix of brand-based, material-based, style-based, all kinds of different things. So you never know what I'm going to pick up. Let me know what your favorite items are. I loved this velvet. Now, there is no tag. It's been ripped out, unfortunately, which honestly, a lot of times, if there's no tags, I leave it behind because it just becomes too much of a headache for me. But this had some really nice style-based qualities here. I love the burnout. I love the velvet, the color mixture. This is fairy goth, even some grunge, dark romantic, whimsical. I'm going to say, just by looking at it, it's probably a small medium. I put measurements in every single one of my listings, so I don't think I'll have any problem selling this as a style-based item. Again, probably half a pound. I paid 75 cents. A lot of my style-based items go for about $20. That's my bread and butter. I do that over and over and over. If you've watched my videos before, you probably get tired of me saying bread and butter. But this, you know, some of the inventory from the bins is raw, meaning it's a donation or some kind of inventory that they got that they never even got to a store because they get so much stuff. And then other stuff comes from the stores. So this says $9.99 that they were trying to get in store. They clearly did not, and they moved it on to the bins. Here's a brand you want to know for sure. It is Daily Practice. Daily Practice. There's a lot of daily. I am notorious for getting some of them mixed up. Daily Practice is an Anthropology brand, and this brand does do fairly well for me as far as Anthropology items go. It's like a magenta-y pink. I believe it's like either a tunic or a mini dress. I usually am pretty good about finding the stocks for these types of items, but it's pretty long. It feels really nice. I think it's a mini dress is what I think it is. Underneath, and you know, the tag, I like to look for what the materials are. Also, most Anthropology items will have the RN number of 66170. Some of them don't, actually. 95% cotton, 5% elastane. That's on the underside tag. You'll see this 66170. It's like tiny, you guys. But that's how you can know that it may be an Anthropology brand. But Daily Practice does pretty well for me. Now, this is a brand, I kind of giggled when I pulled this off the top of the bag. And I think I was not sure if I was even going to pick it up. It's a brand, when I first started, I've been doing this 14 years, I did a lot in this brand and Ralph Lauren, and it's Le Tigre. It's another one of those like preppy, rugby, those are probably the best words to use for it. And I do obviously the most in men's. This is like a striped polo, quarter zip. I love the blue and green combo. It is a size extra large, which is great. I did look up solds for this, and this brand, and I haven't sold this in a while. Like I said, I used to do really well in this brand. The solds were in the $20 range. And so for me, from the bins, Le Tigre, taking something like this and flipping it for 20 is basically what I do. This is a style-based pickup. I rarely pick up this brand. It's Vintage Y2K Notations. I do not pick up this brand. I only would pick it up for style-based reasons. So I was kind of going through a couple different styles with this. Kind of artsy, art to wear, lagging look. But then I also had like a grungy kind of component to it with the dark colors. So I'll probably put in a couple. It has like mixed print. I'll put that in there. This is another $20. You know, like I said, that's just what I do over and over for a lot of my bread and butter items. And at the bins, I'm able to try new things because my cost of goods is so low, which is why obviously I like going there. And this is one of the items, an item like that Le Tigre. I'm not sure. Like the soles look good. In fact, that was the last thing I looked up. It's right on my screen. I'm looking right at it. And the sell-through rate is okay. And most of the solds are 20. I mean, the sell-through rate is actually kind of low. But, you know, most of the solds are like 20 bucks. 18, 15. Some were higher. This one's 22. So I think it'll do okay. But okay size. And I liked the rugby stripes on that Le Tigre. So I'm trying it. This is another thing I'm trying. I heard another reseller the other day talk about that she does a lot in like food brands and like drink brands. And I found this Jim Beam, and I know that's like a whiskey or rum or something. And someone who maybe really loves like Cheeto, like I think she was selling like a Cheeto shirt. Like, so I'm trying this. This is another one I'm trying. We'll see if it ends up in one of my what sold videos. Jim Beam. It's a size 3X. It's a great size. It's a nice little like windbreaker. I like the material. I guess maybe also if you're like a rep for that brand, or maybe you work at a bar, right? Or a restaurant, you know, so I'm eager to see how this does. Jim Beam, like quarter zip up. She said she does really well. And even like, I think she sold a Menards or a Home Depot shirt. Like, is it for a worker? Is it for someone who just likes shopping there? Like, I don't know. But I'm trying it out. I saw Jim Beam. I knew it was a brand of drinks or whatever. So I'm trying it. Tahari, this is 100% linen. Tahari is most of the time a no for me unless it's a material pickup. And this is 100% linen dress. Now, obviously, I had a mix of items in here, and I do have some summer items. So remember that when you're looking at your solds right now, it's fall, winter. Your solds sell-through rates, the sold dollar amounts are all going to be lower for most summer items now because now we're in a different season. So that's always something to kind of take in consideration. Like some people are really, really obsessed with solds and sell-through rates, and they're really good about it. And I love data and statistics. But you also have to use a little bit of like just your common sense and know that the Tahari dresses right now aren't in 100% linen, aren't going to look as good as they're probably going to look in June, right? Or even May, because people start thinking about their trips and their summer and all that a couple months beforehand. So just side note, this is lightweight. I love the print. This is tropical beach resort. You know, someone going on a trip or a cruise going to Mexico is going to love this print. And it's probably a half a pound. It cost me 75 cents. But Tahari, I'm very picky about. Oh, yeah. I do pretty well with these items. But it's a short length. Okay, good to know. Victoria's Secret. But it's these fold over yoga pants. I pick them up in a couple different brands, like all those mall brands. Victoria's Secret, Hollister, maybe American Eagle or Aeropostale. I would have loved if this had a bigger logo. I thought there was like a little angel wing or something. Here it is. There's this tiny angel wing, Victoria's Secret angel wing on the hip. If it has something big that says like pink angels, Victoria's Secret, that's where you can get a little bit more value out of them. But it's the fold over yoga pants in some of those mall brands, because Y2K style is very popular right now. I sold a pair of, I think it was Victoria's Secret, and they were extra small, so I was like, ooh, that's a medium. But it had a big call out on the back fold over for like $35 because it had a big glitter logo on the back. So something to keep in mind. This is Land's End Men's 32 100% wool made in USA. That's a, you know, I love things like this because it's kind of already loaded for you, for your description, for your title, because those are all the things you need to know. And these are a pair of plaid pants. So they are like fall winter. They're 100% wool. I'll put in, you know, preppy, city, academia, golf, maybe even holiday, because they are like a mix of like green and black. 100% wool, Land's End dress pants. I really do like those. I love picking up swim at the bins. It's one of the only places I even pick up swim. This still has part of its tag, so that is fantastic. Is this Land's End too? There it is. Land's End size 1X 1618W. I do pretty well still in Land's End swim. Most of them sell in the $20 range. This is new. I would say probably new without tag. It has partial tags. So that's fantastic. They were only asking $3.99 for this in the store, so that's really not bad. It's a tankini top. Great that it's a plus size. New with partial tags. Swim. That's a $20 all day for me. Ooh, oh. That part of the video. I was so excited to find these. This is a brand I do love selling, and I don't find it a ton. It is Driftwood. Driftwood. Size large, 100% cotton. They do a lot of like earthy boho hippie styles. This is a pair of pull-on pants with a really pretty embroidery detail here. Look at that. There's no, I love me a good embroidery. It's like a washed out kind of burnout color. I love actually that they're a pull-on stretch. Size large. It is absolutely a brand to know. Driftwood. That will probably be a little bit higher of a piece. My throat is scratchy. You know, it turned to winter. Excuse me. It's still fall. But it gets so dry so quickly. And I get this scratchy throat. Woo. Now this I had mixed feelings about. I was contemplating putting it in my whatnot. It is new with tags, Zara. Their tag, it's like H&M sometimes. You can't really tell. New with tags, Zara. It's a jumpsuit, size small. I thought it was a good content, but... Oh no, it's a dress. I'm sorry, it's a dress. It does have this tie. It's kind of dainty and feminine. It has a tie, you know, very minimalist look here in this gray. I do believe this is a maxi length dress, brand new with tag, Zara. Let's see if I can find the material here. And Zara is just such a hit or miss for me. It's a expensive quality brand. Just the reselling part, sometimes I'm just, oh yeah, see, it's 84% modal, and that's the softness I'm feeling on this. So, new with tags, Zara dress, modal, very feminine. Love this gray color. I may put that in a whatnot. I'm not sure. Sometimes I don't know. This is Aeropostale, which this may also end up in my whatnot. It says Impact Aero. So I think I picked this up for style and because that line is like an eco-sustainable. It's cotton, hemp, and recycled cotton. So it's a mixed eco-sustainable material. Hemp is great, 27% hemp. And then this look to me is cottagecore, boho, prairie, earthy, definitely. So even though it's Aeropostale, I felt like the material content and the style would propel it to be worth the pickup. Again, I'm not sure if I'm going to put that. That could go whatnot too. I'd love if you guys chime in and let me know that Zara and that recycled material Aeropostale with the style. It could go either way. Ooh, this is heavy. Like I said, even after all this time, sometimes I think that's the plus and the minus about having multiple platforms, and especially now the Whatnot is I am rotating inventory. If something doesn't sell on Whatnot, you know, I kind of rotate things in and out of my inventory piles, and Whatnot, you know, gives me that opportunity to have that, you know, versatility in my business. And if something's not selling one place, I can sell it somewhere else. Where's the tag? Oh, Polo Ralph Lauren, size extra large. This feels nice. This is going to need a cleanup. Clean up on aisle 7 on this one. It needs to be brushed. It needs to be sweater shaved a bit. It is heavier, so this probably at the bins cost me $3, $4. It's got to be a special material. It feels nice. There's dry cleaning tags on it. Sometimes I really like that though, because it tells you that they took care of their items. Ooh, okay. 90% merino wool, 10% cashmere. That's really nice. Was there a size? Yeah, extra large. So this is it's a sweater. It's heavier. It does need, you know, sometimes even at the bins, I think about how much time I'm going to have to put in because it's kind of like fuzzy. It's going to need a little bit of a cleanup. It's not, let's see, is that like a half sleeve? Merino wool and cashmere polo Ralph Lauren in a size extra large. Probably worth the 10 minutes I'm going to have to take to kind of clean it up. You know, maybe wash it first. I'd definitely hang dry this. I wouldn't dry it, but then I'll have to do some cleanup. But that's a fantastic item. A little bit heavy, and it took up a lot of space in my bag. So, you know, this bag probably only has 15, 20 items. This is new with tags. Now this also might go in my Whatnot, maybe. 50. It has a sale price of $54.99. Lane Bryant, 18, size 18, which is like a 1X. I might put this up though because on eBay, because it has like, you could go a couple ways with this. You could definitely go like fairy goth. It has dark colors in this. It's a skirt, but it's also very pretty. It has a little bit of that mermaid peplum at the bottom. It's lace. It's coquette. It's I don't want to say Victorian. It's you know, it has all those feminine details, and so you could go also like executive, office, dressy, formal, because this is really nice. You could go either way on that one for sure. New with tags. $6.99 they're trying to get for this. This might go in my Whatnot too. Actually, I'm pretty certain this will go in my Whatnot. It feels like linen. Yep, 100% linen. Size large. Love the neutral color here. Needs a steam. It does have the roll cuff sleeve. This will go in my Whatnot. Lightweight. So I actually put that over there. Still thinking about those other two items, if I want to put those in my Whatnot or not. Whatnot or not. This is an animal print. Ooh, here's another brand to know. Wooden Ships. Acrylic, mohair, and wool. So that's a great brand. They only had $3.99 on this, so that's really not that bad. Of course, that was the price in store. No one bought it. I mean, I might buy a Wooden Ships at a Goodwill for $3.99. It's just a solid 20. Pretty popular brand right now. This is oversized, boxy, animal print, mohair, and wool blend. I might put that in my Whatnot as well. Solid 20. I have my computer here. We can always look things up. This looks, oh, I think I did look this up at, yeah, Winter Sun. I looked this up at the bins. Size extra large, made in Ecuador. Winter Sun. And I remember looking it up. Let's see. Winter Sun. Art to Wear is the top filter for this. This is an extra large. 25, 28, 25, 35, 25, 53, 37, 27. So very solid. That was just listing them all right down. Very solid solds. I love this. Look at earthy. It has a floral. It has these multicolor. Very much art to wear on this. Very pretty. Made in Ecuador in a great size. Very pretty piece. Already one bag down. Chuck that over there. What else do we have? And I remember finding this. This is a brand that has mixed comps. What I will say is that this has the color scheme going for it. It is a multi-layered maxi length dress, which is going to propel this higher than other solds that you'll see for marine layer, size medium. Great brand, but definitely try to stack some of your reasons to pick this up though. Very classic, multicolor print, beachy, boho, hippie, all the things. Resort wear, cruise, travel, but it's maxi length and it does have those tiers. So that's going to elevate it a little above some of the other items that are sold. Now this, I was kind of, again, mixed about. And, you know, again, that's the thing with, maybe I'll put this in the whatnot, with being able to go to the bins and pick out things and know that you're only paying $1 a piece. When you're at a regular, whatever it is, thrift store or estate sale, and you have to pay up for it, then, you know, it's a little bit harder to make those decisions. So I don't know if this would be considered, it's like an overall and it's wide leg. Look how cute. It's a lovely like teal blue color. The brand is Earthbound. Earthbound, extra large, 100% cotton, made in Nepal. Yeah. You could go like lots of different keywords, and it is a wide leg. I do think it's a cropped wide leg. It's flowy, earthy, beachy. I could, like I said, some of these, I have my sorting bins here, where I put the things like, you know, by where I'm going to sell it or what kind of item it is. And I might have to look again and see if I want to do whatnot for a couple of these. A couple of them already went in the whatnot, but now this was kind of a surprising find. It's Prana, but it's new with tags, which I think is fantastic. Prana is also eco-sustainable type of brand. It does have a shorter inseam, which is not as good as I would like. Usually if I do have a different inseam, I prefer like a long. It seems like the short inseams sometimes sit. It says size 6, straight fit. And it's nylon and elastane. So these are like those utility pants. But brand new with tags, Prana. Looks like maybe a mid-rise, kind of like a steel blue nylon utility pant. You know, it has some nice pockets here, which is nice. Oh, do these fold up? It has like these little buttons. I wonder if that's what that's for. If you can, yeah. See, I rolled up the, I saw these little buttons by the knee and I'm like, oh, I bet that is so, and that actually adds value to it so that you can roll this up to like a half pant or like a capri length. So if you're hiking and it's cool in the morning, then you get hot in the middle of the day, outdoors, camping, whatever your activity is, then you can roll them up. So that is actually fantastic. That adds value to this. I've told you guys before, especially on my utility pants. Oh, I do a lot in nylon-based utility pants for those outdoor activities. But if you get them where they have features like that, nice zipper pockets, zip off, or a button cuff, so that it's a versatile piece for people when they're wearing it, that adds value. That's fantastic. Oh, this Peruvian connection. Okay. I did this in my last haul video. There was one item I picked up even though I knew it had a flaw. And I picked it up anyways. Brand to know. Peruvian connection. Size medium. I love selling this brand. It does really well for me, but there was a flaw. 100% royal alpaca. That sounds super fancy. I've sold made in Peru alpaca, baby alpaca. This is royal alpaca. Now, where was the flaw? I thought there was like a stain or some dots or something. It definitely needs a sweater shave, I can tell you that. It's very fuzzy. There was something wrong with it. Maybe it was just that it was very pilled. Anybody see anything? Let me know. But this brand sells so well for me. And I love selling it. And they're high quality, nice pieces. So far, I only see a lot of pilling. That's for sure. Maybe that was it. Love it though. Peruvian connection. Royal alpaca. Jeez. Well, how do you find a royal alpaca? I wonder what that means. So this has $9.99 on it. They were trying to get in store. Made in the USA, 100% rayon, size 10T, which is a tall. Paper tag, usually a crinkly kind of paper tag. This is a vintage dress I fell in love with. The brand is Meili 2 out of Dallas. Look at this. Rachel, Things by the Burke, are you in here? If you get to this, what do you think? Vintage dress. Look at it. Isn't this stunning? It's boho, prairie, cottagecore, sweet little details on the sleeve. I can't. I love things like this. I don't wear it, mainly because I always look like I just rolled out of bed, but I love it. You can love styles, aesthetics, vintage pieces, and not necessarily wear them, right? Like, I love a lot of fairy goth things. The color tones, the burnouts, the sequins. I don't wear it. Made in the USA. This was probably my favorite find of this haul. I will probably list this at $49. Vintage, made in the USA, all those style tags. I'm going to just look this tag up. Meili 2. Sometimes these vintage pieces, though, the brands mean almost nothing. Sometimes they do. Like, it's just kind of a toss-up. Yeah, almost nothing comes up for this brand. So it's probably doesn't add any value. What are some vintage brands that I do pretty well with? Vintage City Triangles dresses, Lands of Salzburg dresses. I have quite a few that the brand elevates it. This one does not. It's primarily vintage style based. Let me know. I love that. Ooh, I love finding things like that. If only it seems like I have to work so hard, and by the time I find something good, it's been like 4 hours and I'm about to pass out because it's a lot of work getting through all this. Now this is, I have shared this brand before that I do okay in like the office wear items, and people are usually surprised that I do okay in the limited like office dress wear work pants. And this is brand new with tags. What size is it? Size 4. The limited. The Cassidy Fit flare leg dress pant. I love the blue. It's very nice. New with tags. In the store, they were asking $11.39 for them, so that is a little pricey. And there's your flare leg. And I'll just put all those keywords in it. Office wear, workwear, business, secretary, new with tags, the Cassidy. And I think the last one I sold went for $20. So again, 1 to 20, 1 to 20. It sold for $20 for me. I sold a pair just like that not long ago. Now, what is this, huh? Oh, another brand. We're learning here. See, that's why I like doing these. We all can learn together. Here's a new brand to me. Excuse me. These bins, they like my allergies. I get all crazy. Alex Crane, made in Portugal, 100% European linen. And there's another one in here. Yeah, I found two. And they are not like, people will throw this stuff to the side all the time. It just looks like a t-shirt, right? Like, oh, that's nothing special. But then I felt the material. You know me. I started going through my process. I'm like, oh, this kind of feels nice. I don't know who Alex Crane is. And then I looked and it said, made in Portugal. Oh, what does it say? European linen. Let's see what the solds are. Oops. Alex Crane. European. We'll just put in linen. Just for the sake of, again, obviously it's also not linen season. Linen, obviously, like I just mentioned earlier, we're more in the wool alpaca season, right? The acrylics, the warmer long sleeves. This is a lightweight linen shirt. And here's one, 25, 44, 44, 25. This one went for 69. I don't know why. It's also used. 35, 47, 39, 49. Oh, here's one that looks just like mine. European linen, size medium. Mine's extra large. Just sold 5 days ago for $34 plus shipping, and it's pre-owned. $34. I think it might actually even be my exact shirt. But I have an extra large. What's this weigh? Half a pound. I paid 75 cents, and I'm going to flip it to $35. I'll probably list around 39, and I have another one. I mean, can you believe that? I just did a short. I'm trying to expand on my social media, so you can now find me on Instagram, which I'm not good at all. TikTok. I have a Facebook business page. I'm just trying to expand my social media. Like I said, it's like an ugly mess, but I am out there, and I did just post a short video about a hat I found, and the solds were $30 for this one hat. Now, when I go to the bins, it's $1.59 a pound. I usually get 60, 70, 80 pounds. So I normally pay $100 or less for my entire cart from the bins. That's why I like going there, because my cost is so low. So you're telling me each one of these could sell around $35. These little shirts. Extra large European linen. Same thing, just a different color. That's $70 in these two items. And who knows what I paid for this haul. I don't have the exact receipt with me. Sometimes I stick it in the bag. But if we're talking about $100 haul, which is normally where I'm at, sometimes a little less, this is $70 in sales in these two items. And granted, I do work really hard at the bins. I don't go through the new bins a lot of times. I don't like fighting with all the other people. And more so that I'm aware that when people get in my business and are all over, because they push and shove and they put elbows in their face and they'll take things right out of your hand, I know that that would be a bad situation for me. And it makes me uncomfortable. So I don't even go to the new bins, which is a plus and a minus. If you're one of those people who's scared to go, let me tell you, I still find quality things. I probably work harder than some other people because I have to dig a lot. I don't get first dibs on the new bins, and that's a negative. Every once in a while I will, but most of the time I don't. But I still find good things. That's my point. If you're scared of it, and I don't mean scared like in a bad way, just like I don't like pushing and shoving. I don't like getting in. I don't want someone taking things right from my hand. Like, it's not a good situation for me. But I still found those two items are going to give me $70. Like, that's insane. 511 Tactical. I'm pretty picky about these days. US 8. But these were a nice pair. So it's a women's pair of pants. In the store, they were asking $9.99. I do like these. Had a lot of pockets, like the cargo pockets. I think it's a nylon. So usually I'm looking for things that do have more substantial. 511 Tactical like 2-3 years ago, you'd get 25, 35, pretty much no problem. Now the market is saturated, you know, just like everything else with reselling. It's changed. But these are a really nice pair of Does it have a nylon? What is the blend here? I was going to try to find the material. It's okay. It feels like a nylon-y kind of material. They're heavier. They definitely, they almost feel like something a police officer or something would wear. They're heavier. They have multiple pockets, and they're women's. So I got some shoes in the bottom of this here. Looks like maybe another vintage piece. Now this was another new brand to me, and the comps looked good. So I'm finding new brands and learning new things, which is always great for, you know, for my business. And this was a interesting find. The brand is DL 1961. You guys know this brand? DL 1961. It says the Bridget cropped. I love things that say that right on it. It's a 24W, so it's a plus size. And it's a pair of black pants. They felt really nice. These are heavy, stretchy. They have a raw hem and a little bit of a flare. It does say they're cropped. And the comps looked great. DL 1961. 1961. Bridget. Oh. Is it a jean? Sometimes I have a hard time because these are like, they feel like a jean material, but they're obviously black. They're heavyweight and they're 24W. So, 49, 39, 25, 35. Of course, I didn't put in plus size, so I'm not sure. Oh, here, like this looks very similar to what my item is. 35. So it looked like the comps were good. Again, here, yeah, pretty cropped jean. Those went for $25 plus shipping, pre-owned. But it's not a plus size. But yeah, so we'll see how these do. I like the raw hem and that they're a crop, and it's like a cropped flare. Very stretchy. This material, if I found this brand in I love a good stretch. They almost give me Judy Blue vibes. Those were a little bit heavier, so it probably cost me about $2 for those. And I think very solidly I'll get 25. A lot of these comps are not plus size. So I think the plus size will add a couple dollars to it. I'm probably going to list those. Oh, here's one. Denim pants. Oh, it says, oh, no, it's a regular size. They went for 37. So there you go. I think I'm going to put those at $39 and probably land in the $30 range for those. Another lovely vintage piece. Vintage tailbots, 100% rayon, made in USA. Vintage tailbots. Love this. Peasant prairie. It's not pleated. It's like pin tuck pleated. Love the floral. This is a maxi length dress. Very pretty colors. Vintage. Oh yeah, all day. Prairie, boho, cottagecore. Vintage, made in the USA. Now, is the rest all shoes? What do we got going on in here? Ooh, some good shoes. Oh, this is probably going to go in my kids' whatnot. Hannah Anderson. I'm collecting. I've told you guys before. I don't know what I'm doing with my kids' stuff at the moment. But look at these little penguins. I'm starting a bin of athletic and premium brand only kids items. And maybe like Nuatex. But Hannah Anderson 6'7" little penguin pants. Now that is freaking, that's adorable. I think the rest is shoes. So let's see what I got here. These look really nice. What? Size 6. I don't see a brand, which is interesting. I almost never pick up something that does not. Oh, there it is. Well, that's because it's a suede leather. So fancy. These are really good condition. Size 6. Loafer shoes. Love this color for fall, winter. Love the loafer. They're basically brand new. They have some really nice like details. See this seam here. It says Avec something on the bottom. And I remember looking it up. Genuine suede leather trim. They're basically new. Like they don't even look like they've been worn. And I do really well in loafers. It's loafer season, fall and winter. So there you have it. That's interesting, huh? Oh yeah, I couldn't believe I found these. Weejunes, GH Bass Weejunes. In general, just like that other pair though, I do pretty well in loafer style shoes. I put in a lot of keywords. They could go a couple different ways. You could go obviously business, office, executive, more dressier type of keywords. And then a lot of times you can also go goth, witchy, vampcore, Weejunes, GH Bass Weejunes. There's like a little fuzzy thing. GH Bass Weejune. Yeah. I was trying to see the size. Size 8. Loafer, shoe, shiny loafer. Sometimes I do better when they have a fringe or a tassel. Very, very classic. That's a $25.30 for my Weejunes. This is another brand I do pretty well with. Plus, it's in season right now. It's JBU or Jambu. These are, I like the purple. This is like a felty cotton kind of like knit material. Size 11 is fantastic. They're like a walk-in shoe. Check your soles. And they're in good condition. A nice adjustable strap. JBU. And at the bins, you know, it's like you go to, I can't believe I found these for this one. You go to some of these Goodwills and their shoes are $10 to $20 a piece. And at the bins, I pay $1.59 a pound. So yes, we'll weigh these Sorels. Just see that? Sorels. I found a pair of ankle booty Sorels at the bins. These are a pound 9 ounces. So a pound's $1.59 plus at least another $1. I paid, you know, $2.50 for these. Aren't they cute? I love these. They're so adorable. The soles are good. They do seem to be a smaller size though, if I will say anything. They look to be like, well, yeah, size 5. So that's pretty tiny. Might be why they were still there. You know, 5 is a very tiny shoe size, or it's even like a kid's, right? Like a teenager. But I mean, teens wear Sorels. I mean, we buy good stuff for our kids all the time, right? Sometimes we spend more on our kids than we do ourselves. Isn't that true? A pair of Sorels cost me about $2.50 at the bins. Small size though, small size. Look at, I am just really into the loafers, huh? Here's another pair. I like, are these Cole Haan? What are these? Allen Edmonds. Another like business executive brand. Love the brown. See, there's that like little tassel-y kind of accent, which sometimes does elevate them. These are in really good condition. Allen Edmonds. The Cody. Should we look it up? Oh my gosh, I think I have another pair of loafers in here. But again, just at the bins, and I think a lot of people, you know, they pass on them, and I get it. Like I said, everybody do what makes you happy. Like there are things I pass on that probably other people would pick up. You know, that's the benefit of even thrifting. Like there's so many different styles and things to sell. Some people hate clothing, right? Like some people only do hard goods. Some people don't like selling shoes. Okay, no problem. Here, Allen Edmonds, I looked up exactly. It says the Cody as the, here's my shoe, $59.99. They are a size 12. I don't know what these are. Did I find the size yet? Size 9. So that's an okay size. And they're in good condition. Allen Edmonds loafer shoe with the tassel. 59 sounds great. If I get 59, here's my brown ones again. This is a size 12, 55. Here's another one, 30. Again, I probably paid about $3 for these. They're a little bit heavier. Still, $3 to $30 is just fine with me. These were the Cole Haans, and these are vintage. And I think they're bigger size, 11. Again, loafer, love the color. This is like that dark burgundy, really rich color. I feel like this color back like in the 90s and early 2000s meant you were like had a lot of money. Maybe it's just me. Cole Haan. Soles are okay. You know, they look like they got some use, but overall they're in good condition. I feel like, does anybody feel that way about this color? Like, it was like the fancy color back in the day. Again, loafer shoe. I'll put in some keywords: businessman, executive, office. This looks like I have another pair of booties. I think I was going back and forth on this pair because it's Dr. Scholl's. Now, most shoes are expensive. These are lighter, really cute and in season. Ankle booties, tie, but they're just Dr. Scholl's, which I think you can even get at Kohl's. They're probably still $60 to $80 brand new, and I picked it up because of the style. Size 11, so that's actually a great size. So that probably encouraged me to get it a little bit more. Dr. Scholl's booties. I'm just gonna look up. You know, so a lot of times the size changes things, the color. But I kept hemming and hawing, and I was like, you know what? They're lighter weight, $20, $18. This is brand new, $29. See, this one only went for $15. This one actually went for $35 pre-owned, and they look very similar to mine. So I think this one's going to be a toss-up. I'm hoping for 20 on these. They're pretty lightweight, and they're a size 11, which is a better size. Look at these. What are these, huh? Oh, Bionic. I sell this brand all the time. The market's getting a little bit flooded. So, Bionic. This is just a pair of sneaker shoes. $25.30 on those. Ooh, my bin's full. Good thing I'm at the bottom here. SAS. SAS. I've mentioned this brand before. Definitely, you know, be picky about what you're picking up, but you can say that about everything. I like the little silver tone accent here. Another pair of like loafer casual shoes. It says the tripod made in USA. Overall, I do pretty well with this brand. The soles are in great condition. Let's just look it up. It's my last item. SAS tripod comfort footbed. Wowzers. SAS, it's really a loafer. Casual shoe. 35, 44, 19.99, 40, 42, 35. You know, when you go through these sold, you're like, well, then why did that one go for $19.99? Maybe someone sent them on offer. Maybe it was a small size. Maybe they were just wanting to move it quickly. You know, we'll weigh these, and you know, depending on what they're paying, if you're only clearing out your own closet, maybe you're fine with $20 when everything else is going for $30. You know, this is less than a pound, so it's $1.50, and I will sell it for at least $20. And that's pretty much what I do, right? All over and over. So it's just interesting sometimes in those sold, you get a couple anomalies in there, because most of these are 27, 23, 30, 29. They're not $19.99, but everybody's situation is different. You know, sometimes I sold an Eileen Fisher the other day for like 17. And I felt like I should have gotten 25, but you know what? It's the end of the year. I have new goals for 2026. I'm just moving things out, keeping things flowing. And so maybe even I, you know, affect the sales, the solds when you're looking at comps, because maybe I'm accepting something that other people might not. And obviously that's what makes all of our businesses a little bit different, because you do you, boo. That's what I say. Do it how you want to. Maybe you're willing to sell your stuff for a little bit less, or there's, you know, people who want to hold out. Maybe, I'm sure I've done that on certain things. In fact, there was a dress that someone went back and forth with me 4 times with on eBay. She ran out of offers, so she had to message me. And I just really felt like this one dress was worth more. And the only reason why, I don't know, most of the time I don't go back 4 or 5 times. I get tired of the offers. I'm like, hey, either meet me somewhere reasonable or get out. Like, I cannot go back and forth 5 times. It's honestly very rare that I do. And I think one time I let it timed out or something. I don't even know. But she was very persistent, and then she finally came back. I kept going back to 30. And so finally she ran out of offers. She messaged me and said, okay, I'll get it for 30. Could you just buy it now at 30? Because she couldn't offer me any more items, any more offers. I always get such an itchy nose with all the dust and stuff. Some of those shoes were pretty dusty. They probably came out of someone's closet. But yeah, you know, my point in rambling here at the end is that everybody's business model is different. Your circumstances are different. Like, hey, if I know I have to go to get $300 worth of groceries because I have teenagers to to feed somehow, I might accept lower offers. You know, that's just how the solds are very important, because it gives you a realistic picture of what people are selling that item for. So would I sell those for 20? Probably not for a month or two. That last pair of SAS loafers, most of the solds are 27, 30, 32. You know, I probably hold out a little bit for a couple months, and then, because that's obviously more likely what the value is right now on those. That's all I'm trying to say. Does anybody even understand me? I don't know. 2 full bags from the bins. I normally, like, that wasn't the whole haul. There's 2 other bags, you know. I do separate out my stuff. Sometimes the whatnot, I'm just throwing in my whatnot bins. You know, I have all these bins. So many bins that I needed a couple more, because now I have my whatnot bins and I needed some more. And the place I normally buy them from ran out. There's none to order. So I kind of keep things, I label them, and anyways, that's the haul. Great. Those 2 Alex Cranes, brand new brand to me. Never heard of that. Never sold that brand before. Found at the bins. Lightweight. Probably cost me $1, honestly, for both of those shirts. And they're going to sell for $70. You know, that's why I keep going back to the bins. I do get very defeated sometimes, because if it's a bad day, you know, you always hear the people in the bins, oh, it's a terrible day, or it's a great day. You really have to work hard. Sometimes I don't find great things like that. But those solds on that Alex Crane, brand new brand I never found before. Low cost, good solds. Whoop. It's what I need. If I can do that every time I go to the bins, like, I hate walking out of the bins and feeling like it was a crappy day. Oh well, there you have it. That's the haul. I'm going to go sort these out, and I'm going to go get my at least 10 listings done for the day. I love y'all. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one.